What is going on, Dislyte community? This is Max Legends, and I'm going to talk about the state of the game of Dislyte. I'm going to talk about what you can do to improve your teams. I'm going to talk about the most meta units at the moment. I'm basically a rank 5 player in Point War if I decide to push. I can't really get past rank 5 because my relics and my defense team isn't quite there yet, but being top 5 in the world is pretty much a big feat for itself. So I'm going to explain to you how to get there, what kind of units I think are very strong at the moment, what kind of units you should be pulling for, the current state of the game, and so on and so forth. So in Point War, if you want to push, you basically have to spend crystals every day. You have to do 20 out of 20 refreshes, and the best thing that I can recommend you do is memorize the names of the people that you could easily beat. It's basically hunting for certain people, and my team is set up to actually beat the rank 1, rank 2, and rank 3 players in the game. I use a tank comp against the tank comp. My tank comp is just a little bit stronger, a little bit faster, but you could go with the speed cleave team, whatever it is. Usually I auto battle all the way to Point War 18 to get to rank 5, so I'm just gonna spend one of my tickets here. So this looks like an easy team for me. Let's see what it does. Quick battle. Yeah. So you just keep doing that. You keep refreshing your tickets every day, and you'll be, once you understand who you can and you can't beat, you'll just hunt certain comps down and you'll be able to climb pretty easily. It just takes a little bit of crystals. So I want to talk about the meta espers in the game, and the reason why I'm making this video right now in specific is because of Embla. I'm trying to push my Embla to R6 because she's actually the strongest unit in the game as far as doing damage. And having a damage dealing unit like Embla at R6 is pretty much going to carry you through all content of the game. More or less most content of the game. Except for PvP. All PvE things could pretty much be done with R6 Embla. She's second to Tever at R6, and she outperforms Gaius by a lot. Once you have this unit at R6, I pretty much guarantee there's not going to be any content that you're going to be struggling with because of how the corrupted seed works. It's an immense amount of damage at R6. Even at R2, she's really, really good. But the reason why I even wanted to make this video right now is because her banner is up, and I think everybody should pull for her. Another thing I wanted to talk about is the plaza. There's a couple of things at the plaza that I think are must-buys for anybody that wants to pay to win and push this game to its limit, its meta, and that's the super bonus pack and the black gold monthly card. Those two things are extremely mandatory because of the amount of gold records you get and crystals as well. So another thing I want to talk about is the M Pass. The M Pass is an incredibly good upgrade. I'm not really recommending the E Pass, but the M Pass is definitely something you guys should buy. Another thing you should look out for is anytime you can get a gold record for about $1, that's the best type of value that you can get. So you see how it says $10 for 5 gold records? That rounds it out to about $2 per gold record. And I really want to get the most that I can out of my money's worth. So I usually opt out of those packs. But here's the thing. Sometimes you will have an ability mon with a gold record. Ability mons, for me, shouldn't be worth more than $10. So if you have 5 gold records and an ability mon for whatever pack that the game may include, and you're getting it for $10, that's a really, really good value. So whenever you see an ability mon, it's worth about $10. You could buy it, you could not buy it, whatever. But if you get it for less than $10 and you get some gold records on top, that's usually a snap buy for me. As you can see, I bought the dollar packs right here because they give you a gold record each. And another thing that I kind of recommend is you get a double amount for the first time that you buy the $20 pack, the $30 pack, the $50 pack, and the $100 pack. You get double the amount of crystals, which is equivalent to about a little less than $1 per gold record if you make the conversion. So that's something I definitely recommend. I stay away from the shimmer packs. The shimmer packs are very expensive, and with the amount of shimmers that you need to get a single legendary shimmer, it's incredibly expensive. And I don't know what your budget is for this game. I'm just telling you what I do. I would stay away from the super expensive stuff and try to get my money's worth. Even though you may want a Fang, you may want an XP, you may want a JJ, you may want a Tever, whatever, it's better off just getting lucky off the gold record spins. So just do that and spend if you're gonna spend on gold records, because there's still a chance that you're gonna get a shimmer legendary from the gold records. The gacha is hell, pretty much. It's it takes a lot of spins to get all the units in the game. It's gonna take a very long time, and you better be locked in it for the long haul. And while you're basically doing that, I also want to talk a little bit about the blitz tickets that you get. So with the blitz tickets, before you get into Desolate Lands and you start pumping all your blitz tickets in there, because Desolate Lands takes a really, really long time to clear. Like, it takes, I don't know, several minutes to do a full run. And Desolate Lands is by far the best place to spend your blitz tickets in, because you can't really fail. You could just get a lower score than your average score, but you still get something at the end of the day out of it. While you're still not in the end game, I really recommend spending all your blitz tickets farming relics in the first Chronos ritual miracle. I don't really farm Fafnir yet. I don't farm Apep yet. I just basically spend everything on Chronos, because until I get every single piece of relic from Chronos plus 4 speed, I have a lot of plus 3 speed relics. But until I get every single speed relic to plus 4, I'm not going to stop doing this. By the time I get plus 4 relics from Chronos, I'm going to have a lot of plus 3 records, and I'm going to have a primary speed unit and a secondary speed unit that are both going to be extremely fast, because whatever my Unis is basically going to outspeed his old relics are going to go to my new, I don't want to show you my Una speed, but it's fast. It's over 200 speed. Whatever upgrade I get for his relics, his older relics are going to go into a Dahlia or a Clara, basically to maximize the speed output, because sometimes when you get into Point War and you want to use a speed team for certain things, or even knockout or hollow battle, your secondary speed unit may be the make it or break it difference. So here's the thing. If you're up against another Unis and you both have the same speed, your secondary unit will determine who wins the matchup. So that being said, just focus on the speed relics. Once you get that out of the way, I would probably farm Fafnir for a little bit until I get all my Thor relics. And then after I get all my Thor relics, then I'm going to push into Desolate Lands. Now, a lot of people don't know what's going to happen with Shade Mother, but I think, and I have a very strong hunch, is they're going to release a different type of relic booster, which is going to be, instead of legendary, it's going to be a mythical relic booster. So instead of pushing Desolate Lands with the other bosses, I would just wait for Shade Mother. Just get the best relics you can right now for all of your teams, and then push Shade Mother. Now, I could make a tier list. I'm very confident that I know which units are pretty much the best in slot, best in the game. And I can just tell you, the top 5 you want to look for is Fang Nuxie, right? You want to basically look out for Champin. Unis is probably one of the best PvP units in the game, and he's incredibly versatile for PvE, and he becomes even more so versatile once you get some resonances into him. But these are shimmers, and you know, with the shimmers, it's kind of expensive. So I want to also talk about the non-shimmer units because they're more accessible to people. Abigail is really good in both PvE and PvE, but if you're gonna spend Wish Stones on one unit, I would either recommend Clara, because not only does she AP push, but she also heals and cleanses. She's an incredibly versatile unit. And Gaius is really good, especially at R2. He gives a crit boost for the entire team. Ali is incredibly good, especially at R2. His invincibility buff lasts for 2 turns. For story mode, Tai is really good, but at R6 she becomes a different type of monster. Like she becomes a demon at R6. Like, she becomes from being good, very good, way better than like a mid-tier unit and a high mid unit, to like an incredibly great unit, to God mode at R6. So I really like Tai. For story mode, Sienna is incredible. As you can see, I pumped all the ability mons on her, but she kind of falls off later on in PvE. At R6 she becomes relevant again, but just to carry you through certain modes, she's really good. Like anything, like for Temporal Tower, when there's no issues with AP manipulation, because sometimes they block the AP manipulators and you can't change your AP. When that's not a problem, that's where she shines. She's really good, especially paired with Lucas. Her and Lucas go hand in hand together. They're amazing. Leora is something very relevant as well. not only can she carry you guys through Chrono 16, but she's also just a very good unit all in all because of her defensive capabilities. She's a crazy nuker, but she also has those defense buffs that outshine a lot of other units that you may look out for. I'm not going to mention a lot of mid units, but I do kind of want to mention Ethan. Ethan at R2 is almost necessary for PvP because of the speed buffs he gives you automatically when you start the battle. So once I get him to R2, once I get all my speed relics, absolutely broken unit. Very, very good unit. And of course, my man Tever. Tever was a good bench warmer. He was very subpar before this new patch. Then they broke him. They made him too strong, apparently. I really liked him before 3.2.6 decided to revert his buffs. I really, really liked the damage capabilities he had. But they nerfed him. They nerfed my boy a lot. But he's still a very, very, very good single target nuker. I think his place right now in the meta is he's stronger in PvP than PvE. Although you are going to run into some, elemental weaknesses where Embla, Gaius, Leora won't really be able to give you, that kind of damage that you need. And Tever being a shimmer unit, he doesn't care about elemental weakness. So you could throw him in there if you need like a good single fire nuker. Who else is worth an honorable mention? Ophelia is probably the best DPS for wind type units. She's also a single damage nuker, but with her kit, sometimes it feels like she's an AoE unit because she'll kill one unit, go on to the next one, kill the next unit, go on to the next one. She's just incredibly good. She just does an immense amount of damage. I really rate her highly. I don't want to talk about Ahmed. Ahmed is good. Very good, especially at R2. But I don't know. I'm kind of more biased toward Clara. Clara is my go-to healer. Although if you need that extra bit of speed, extra bit of damage, and in certain content, Ahmed is so good because of his heal, speed buffs, damage increase, and cooldown reduction. So he's really worth an honorable mention. But Clara is still the first healer I think about when I want to, clear some content because of her AP push. Another honorable mention, Yun Chuan. Whoops. Where is he? Yun Chuan at R2. So sick. Such a good unit. Such a big damage dealer. But at R0, it's a mid unit. At R6, that's where he shines. I mean, at R2.